Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As you get a look at Brian Hoyer, the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on the national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
Here's Hoyer. And his first look is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Hoyer. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They run straight ahead here with Olsen. Well, he's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Falcons send out their punter. Devontae Smith deep to return. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. Fielded at the 20. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense. Like, look, you don't even worry about it. You got to just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
And now this offense was set up to start their first drive. Instead, after the return, they'll only be needed for 1 play as they go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. It's caught. And it's 8-0. They wasted no time showing how aggressive they're going to be in this game. They get the quick score, and then they go for 2, CD.
Surf's up, partner. And when surf's up, you ride the wave. They felt great about that quick drive, put it in the end zone. Why not go for 2? They felt comfortable with the play call that they had.
And the home crowd loves it. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Kevontae Turpin now to return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Cromartie. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. They go play action. Winston. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, pass passes are crisp. He sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Up the middle they go with a big back Jackson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Winston to throw for it on 4. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leo Chanel. And the Falcons are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. One quarter down, 8-0 the score. 2nd quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now Hoyer. This one into the hands of Nixon. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations? In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is brought in at the 21. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it as they head out on the field for this drive. That whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Second down, another carry for Jackson. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
Ready.
Play action now. Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Winston. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. They'll come out throwing here on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Throwing on second and long. Hoyer. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Demario Davis coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
2nd and 7. Play fake. Winston. He's got his man Sharp complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. Unable to corral him, he fights through. Unable to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Now Jameis on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Winston. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Now a handoff inside. It's Jackson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. They run again with Jackson. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 64 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
Quick completion here to Johnson. Touchdown! Johnson from 40 yards out. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Winston to throw for it. And that's caught at the 2. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because in the back of the end zone, never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one complete to Keene, the tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go.
Back now in Miami. This is 2nd and 8. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And he'll have the Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. 91 yards rushing now for Bo, and he's got a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They're looking to throw this. Winston. That's downfield into the hands of Sharp. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On the give, here comes Jackson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Now here's Winston as his guys will line up and go for the two-point conversion. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, intercepted. intercepted. Picked up by Antonio Cromartie. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, CD, this is the ideal situation in the fourth quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock, with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 40 yards. And the Dolphins have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Once again, the Dolphins will come out and go for 2. Jameis to throw it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
I'll pick up a 44 yards on the play. First down.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.